Every office has that one employee. You know the type. He does the work for 3 people, and he's kind of loud about it. He's a little obnoxious and maybe a little arrogant. But here's the problem. You can't fire him. Because if you did, everything would just fall apart. That's the Wise Adamascus GMT to my collection. The watch that didn't just outperform my other Wise models, it outright replaced them. In fact, I sold almost all of my dive watches because of this. Even my Nereide Tungsteno, yes, that one, is now gone. And what's left? This. Let's begin with the specs. It has a 40mm case diameter, it has a 12mm thickness, 47mm of lug-to-lug distance, and it has a 20mm lug width. It has 200 meters of water resistance, which makes it just as capable as the dive watches that it replaced. Inside is a Miyota 9075 True GMT caliber with a 28,800 BPH, 24 joules, and it has a 42-hour power reserve. It's a not so glamorous movement, but it's like that office worker that never calls in sick, always shows up, and always gets it done. Now, does this employee have its flaws? Of course, yes. It's a little thick. That 13.5mm might not sound much, but on the wrist, you feel it. You know that like one dude that always eats a little too many donuts from the office fridge? He's a little loud, a bit hefty, and subtlety's not really part of the vocabulary here. And here's where this guy shows off. It's a Traveler's GMT. It has a local jumping hour, it has a quick set, independent from the 24-hour hand and all that jazz. In other words, you adjust the time zones on the fly the way a real traveler does. It's not Swiss, it's not flashy, but it's dependable, functional, and brutally efficient. Now you can be that guy that can brag about racking up your frequent flyer miles while everyone else is stuck on their desks. Bracelet features. It has a fully brushed stainless steel bracelet with quick release endlinks for painless swaps. It's got great articulation and you can grip it very easily. Now putting it back on the lugs may take some getting used to, but it's not that hard to do. Now on the clasp, it has a really thin profile and it has this very nice spring-loaded micro-adjust mechanism that is very familiar to Tudor and Rolex users. Overall, for a diver GMT, it has a very elegant presentation and it's well equipped for all the tasks that you need it. This bracelet is one of the things that I'm really excited for this Adamascus for, but before we get to the good stuff, let's see the strap options and how they pair up. Let's begin with this brown rubber strap that fits perfectly against the case, curving with the lugs so it looks like it belongs to each other. It's got that integrated look, it's clean, and it makes the watch feel like part of your arm. While that's not bad to look at, this black sailcloth strap is what I'm digging. It's textured, it's rugged, and it's robust. It's a little more military in tone, and this is the Friday casual strap, less polished, more practical option that you can get. And of course, the black tone of the strap matches perfectly with the black parts of the insert. And finally, let's put it on a Hydroflex strap from Arten. This is the softer, more refined, and a little dressier strap that you can choose. This is one of those that you'd wear to a meeting when you're trying to look classy even if you're still the loudest guy in the room. The gray neutral tone matches perfectly with the dial, thus making the bezel pop out a little bit more. You too have a number of comments about this Wise Adamascus. Nick says the Toolless adjustment is sick. Kick to the Head remarks that the colors work so well even though he's not a GMT guy who'd be admiring it from afar. Not the Real Aaron says that the value proposition seems absurdly good from the features to the finishing to the box and presentation. And he ordered one for himself, so hopefully the Real Aaron would comment on that too. And finally, Marco B says that he ordered the gray colorway so that it doesn't attract too much attention in the hellscape that is the New York subways, and he promises that when he comes to Aruba, he's going to get some Kunuku Coffee Roasters coffee. Now, as always, let's look a little bit deeper into this watch. The brilliance of 904L steel, the same alloy that Rolex won't shut up about, is right here. That's one of the key features of many of Wise watches, and this is no different. This brilliant metal just elevates the look a little bit more. For a Microbrand at this price, it feels obnoxious in the best way possible. The articulation of the bracelet is very nice, it's very smooth, and it gives you ample sizing opportunities. The center links are polished and the rest are brushed. Again, this is a 904L steel bracelet and case that gives it that extra sparkle. You know, like that guy who insists on wearing cufflinks on a casual Friday. Of course, it's not really just the brilliance, it's actually negligible in many cases. But really, the main draw of 904L steel is that it's more anti-corrosive than 316L steel. The clasp, like we mentioned before, is thinner than expected, it's fully brushed, and a polished center would have been nice, but the spring-loaded micro adjust redeems it. It's practical, it's functional, and I shouldn't be complaining about it. And here's a closer look at the quick release spring bars. It's twin trigger, so it's easy to access. Now, like I've said before, I'm looking forward to this bracelet, but nothing could prepare me for the added feature that they had here, which is the Toolless link system. This is the highlight of the watch, the feature that really kept it in my collection. You might only use it once when you size it for your wrist, but it's still incredible. On a 904L steel watch at this price point, having a toolless link is simply brilliant. Pull out the side and the links and rotate it and it slides off. Very smooth and very fast, no tools required. And yes, the burning question is, how secure is this on the wrist? Well, it's very secure. You could treat it as if it's any other oyster bracelet in the market. This watch is that guy in the office that not only does his job, but takes over everybody else's. The divers, fired. The field watches, laid off. Even the showpiece that was supposed to impress clients, all gone. All because Mr. Adamascus here does it all. He tracks multiple time zones, he goes underwater, he looks sharp in a meeting, and he's cheap enough that management loves him because he doesn't complain about overtime. The rose gold accents here is where it gets interesting. To me, they're pure class. To others, maybe a little too shouty or a little too fancy. And the hands and the indexes flash that gold every time light hits them, like the guy in the office who insists on wearing cufflinks to Zoom calls. Do you need that level of flair? No. But do you secretly like it? Yeah, you do. And then there's the loom. When the lights go out, this guy is still at his desk, blasting away emails at 11 p.m. Bright, sharp, and borderline expressive. And Wise is known for these very potent concoctions of loom, and it's no different here. Now, you know that I've got a small wrist, 6 and a quarter inch, and this still works. Sure, the former skin divers that I own fit technically better, but here's the truth. I actually prefer my divers to be a little thicker, a little bit more robust. This one carries that classic jet set GMT look. The kind of watch that makes you look like you're traveling for work, even if your biggest commute is to the conference room. And no, it's not going to break the bank. Even though, with the shine of 904L steel and those rose gold accents, and not to mention that toolless link system on the bracelet, it still looks like it's something that you should have bought with Bitcoin back in 2012. So, it's efficient, it's a little obnoxious, it's surprisingly classy, and it's still affordable. In other words, this is really that one employee that you'll never love, but you'll never probably let go.